Hi everyone! So I got a lot of questions about when will season 24 start, and a lot of people don't really seem to be aware that we don't have any real info about it. But I want to talk a little bit about what I believe is the most likely based on the past seasons and just the history from the Diablo 3 in general. So we don't even have a season 23 ending date now, and this always means that the season will last at least 2 more weeks. There are a few exceptions where the season end was not announced exactly 14 days before, because the season always ends on a Sunday and the new season always starts on a Friday. So there might be like 1 or 2 days off with the season end announcement. But if we take a look at the calendar here, I marked a few points for us to have this more visually recognizable. And here is the PTR starting date. This was the 17th of June. So this was 6 days ago. It's almost 1 week into the PTR phase. The PTR will always last 2 weeks. So this means it will end on the 1st of July. So some people say that, yeah, okay, the season might end here on the 4th of July. But I believe that's actually quite unlikely, because right now it's the 23rd already. And if you go 2 weeks ahead from here, we are on the 7th of July, which is already like 3 days past that 2 weeks prior deadline that we usually get for the end of the season. So this would be a quite early season end here. Also, it's important to remember that usually there is a 12-day break between season end and season start. And this has been the case for many seasons in a row before this season. And this time around in season 23, we only got 5 days. Usually it's always from Sunday to Friday plus 1 week. But there was the special case this time around that there was the D2 alpha coming up, and some people were invited there and they had a lot of stuff going on. And there was also the Immortal alpha also launching at very shortly after. So this is probably why they kind of like pulled it ahead to make the start a bit earlier, to give more room for the D2 and the Diablo Immortal alphas. Right now we already know that the D2 open beta will be launching in August, which means that the closer Diablo 3 gets to August, the more the timetables will be squished again, and they will probably really try to avoid this, to give people time to play Diablo 3, and also internally probably they have a lot of stuff going on, I believe, to prepare for Diablo 2. This means the more time they have, the better. And this means we will rather see an earlier season start than a later season start. So here I marked a few more important dates. From what I've talked about earlier, the earliest season 23 end can be on the 11th of July. It can't be the 4th of July unless they go really out of the way to give us a very short season end notice, which I believe won't be happening. And typically the developers want to have a bit of extra time from PTR end to patch day to have time to adjust things and maybe do bug fixes and all that. And right now we have quite a lot of those, so I would expect them to actually put in some extra work, but then kind of squish it as much as possible to get an early season 74 launch. So this season 23 will probably end here on Sunday, and just like in season 23, I think they're gonna shorten the time between the seasons to just 5 days, which means that the season start and the earliest possible season start, and I think also the most likely, is gonna be the 16th of July. Patch should probably launch 3 days before, usually on the Tuesday on NA and on Wednesday in EU, and this is probably where we'll end up, and this will give people enough time to enjoy the season for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then eventually hop into the D2R beta, which I believe many of you will, and so will I. I'm going to be playing that game a little bit during the beta, and then obviously when it releases later this year, I'm quite excited for that. I think there is a minor possibility that they will actually have a 12-day break between the seasons, and we're going to end up with the 23rd of July, but right now I would expect the 16th to be the most realistic date. The 23rd could happen if they decide that maybe D2 is not really such a big thing with the beta, and the beta is going to be quite small with the content that we're going to have, and maybe they just want to have, just give people a little bit of something, but it won't really affect the other games very much. So there is also the kind of like the long scenario here, but I think it's probably an 80% chance for the 16th of July, and then maybe another like 10-15% chance for the 23rd of July, and then the last few percent are probably, you know, some really unexpected events happening that might delay it even further, but I doubt that. So here you got my analysis just from what we can see from the public info right now and from the past history from the other seasons. I believe it's going to be the 16th, and you should probably plan with that date in mind. In the end, we'll have to wait for the official announcements anyway, but if you have to make plans right now, then this is my best case for you. So hope this helps you a little bit and clear some things up, and see you guys next time.